Hi everyone! If you see my recent short, then you already know that I recently finished my pink cherry sketchbook, and this means it is finally time to give you a tour through this one, my most recent sketchbook. And I'm pretty excited because the last time I used the sketchbook was my Miffy sketchbook and it took me over a year to finish it. But this one did not, so I'm really excited. This one only took me 6 months, and in one of my videos in July, I actually mentioned that I thought I was gonna finish it in July, but life happened. But 6 months, I think, is still a pretty good time considering how many pages this one has and that a lot of them are double-sided. So anyway, let's start flipping through it. So first off, here's the inside of the hardcover. As you can see, I started the sketchbook in April and I finished it last week in September. Also, as per usual, my first page is pretty much always a swatch page. And these are the pens that I wanted to use in the sketchbook, but I did not stick to these pens and started using a lot of different stuff. Then, of course, we had to have another beautiful group shot of some adorable little Pokemon. And these are also colored in with Crayola Silly Scents. And then over on this page, just a cute little pink cat girl. Because I really like Primarina, I had the idea of drawing some other Pokemon as mermaids. And just to test run the idea, I wanted to start with some really simple Pokemon. But in the end, I don't know, it wasn't really what I was hoping it would be. Just a cute cowgirl, and I'm pretty sure she's also colored in with Crayola Silly Scents. This is a redesign of some like super old OCs that I made at some point as a teenager. And at the time I could never really figure out what I really wanted them to look like. And since it's been a very long time, I wanted to try it again. Of course, slightly more modern fashion. And then these are the blonde girl's pet rats, and they're all named after the main characters from Fruits Basket. Because that manga was like the very first time that I saw rats being presented, or rats, kind of being presented as like something really cute. And over here, I was trying to put together some color palettes for my Crayola Super Tips, because sometimes putting together smaller color palettes really helps me not feel quite as overwhelmed as I would if I just look at a whole set of like 50 pens. A very cute and tired bunny girl presenting her soft drink. This bear over here is from my, I believe it's Crayola versus Faber-Castell, my cheapest water-based markers versus my most expensive water-based markers. If you're interested, please do go check out that video as well. I really like the cowgirl. I'm a big fan of like shy girl character tropes anyway. Then these scribbles. And this picture over here is from my video where I use scented Chupa Chups gel pens. This entire picture is colored in with tiny skinny little gel pens, and also it's like all like neon colored, and it's so pretty when you look at it in like real life. Just some random cuties, but I really like the little filler elements in the background. I'm not really a big fan of this type of like retro aesthetic. It was kind of a fun exercise, I guess. I think this is one of my favorite pictures in the sketchbook, which is really funny because this one was actually an illustration that I put very little effort into it. Like, it was only meant to be kind of like as a page filler so I don't waste a page. But somehow she still turned out to be so cute. In case you don't know, this picture here is a Monchichi, and it's so funny that I drew it in here because I only recently found out that they start getting like really trendy again. And to be honest, the reason I drew them is just because my mom really likes Monchichis because she like grew up with them as a kid. Even though I don't like Monchichis, this one is actually like a contender for my favorite 5 pictures in this book. Over here I messed up a drawing, so then I just colored it in black, and now she's just a silhouette. This one and some of the other pages are just me brainstorming character designs for a concept idea that I had. but in the end, nothing really came of it. I do still like some of the pictures and sketches though. Perhaps not for this concept idea because it's a little dark, but if you are interested in maybe seeing my process when I'm like brainstorming and working on different ideas, stories for different types of projects, if you want to see that, let me know, and maybe I can consider making a video about it. Because I do that kind of stuff a lot, and also I just really do a lot of that for fun in my free time. This one is also from one of my videos, let's say relatively recent one. And this is where I used supposedly sweet-scented, dual-ended silly scents. And as you can maybe guess from this picture, not all of them are as nicely sweet as they should be. These are some more redesigns of some really old OCs, and these characters are teenagers wearing a fancy school uniform, and this one over here is of course the more rebel one, who is not wearing the uniform as intended. I tried so hard to make a really cool looking character, and her whole design just ended up being a mess. So when I redesigned her, I still tried to make her look cool, but I really wanted to keep the kind of like messy outfit. For this one over here, I've just been seeing a lot of talk recently about like Yaro characters and animes, so I kind of wanted to attempt doing my own version. And these two are just redesigns of like really old characters as well. And this page I never finished, but this was also supposed to be a redesign of 3 doctor characters that I have, or specifically like pediatricians. All 3 of them were named by one of my friends, and 2 of them used to be demons, but I'm pretty much changing all of my characters that used to be demons into some other more folklore creatures, or in this case, this one is actually a dragon now. And since she is a pediatrician that works like with little kids, obviously, she actually transforms herself to look kind of like a child as well, just so the kids are less scared of her. And she stuck like little soft balls onto the spikes of all her horns, just so she doesn't accidentally hurt someone. Over here, I had an idea for like a really cool kind of color effect that I wanted to try out doing, but unfortunately it just really did not turn out as cool as I was hoping it would be. And then this is kind of also what I tried to do with the bunny and the weird plants over here. Just some more cute kind of random characters. From the pen set that I was using here, I think these are like cheap alcohol markers. This used to be a really big set, but at this point I only had like 3 possible skin tones left, so I wanted to draw a picture with all 3 of them. And this girl's hair is also this one's skin color, and this one's hair color is this one's skin color. This was also an attempt at redesigning some old OCs, and I love how this one turned out, but I absolutely hate these 2. I think for her, the way I drew the face just looks kind of off, and with her, I think it's mostly the color scheme that I really don't like. For these 2 characters, I love Novi Stars. Novi Stars are like my all-time favorite doll line, and she's not my favorite character, but one of my favorite gimmicks is from Tulatoned, and that doll has like colored water in her legs, and you can like shake the water in there, and it's really fun, but I also think it's aesthetically really cool, so I also wanted to draw some characters that have the same kind of gimmick. So for her it's in the leg, and for this one it's in her arm. And then halfway through drawing these, I realized how weird it looks to put this on an actual person. This one, I really like how this illustration turned out, but these are just some like random dolls that I saw on Pinterest, and I thought they looked really cute, so I wanted to draw them. This one was also not a doll, but like a hard plastic blind box toy, which I thought her design was like really cute. And when I started this picture, I didn't intend for it to be like a human Fluttershy, but once I colored her in the yellow dress, the pink hair, it just immediately screamed Fluttershy. So then I also added the wings and just kind of committed. Not my best picture ever, but I love this little cute little creeper. And I also really like this one. I think this picture of these 2 is really cute. Oh, and then from here, I try to learn how to draw Lalaloopsies just in like a 2D thick outline kind of style. And of course I had to start with drawing myself as a Lalaloopsy. This one is a dress that keeps showing up on my Pinterest like over and over again, and I just love the like orange pattern on it so much. I've probably drawn like a million characters in that exact same dress by now. And this over here is my friend who I've been to Disneyland with. Some more Lalaloopsy girls, and this Lalaloopsy boy is my boyfriend Nicholas, and he's playing with his little unpainted Warhammer figures. I tried to draw myself, or like not myself, but my little avatar. Cute little happy pose, but I completely butchered the perspective on the legs. Her face is adorable though. And this is the result of one of my most annoying videos to film. Oh, and over here, on this page, is me brainstorming, designing some merch that is related to me. So over here is just my normal avatar character's body, and then in comparison to the more chibi-ish bear designs. There are like so many designs in here that I really like, but I feel like I still need to digitalize them before I can upload them. This one was trying to brainstorm for a new outfit for my little bear persona, because I feel like after almost two years, it's probably time to give her a bit of an upgrade. And here's my rainbow armadillos. This one was a fun video to do, not like the fish one. You see me trying to swatch the magic pencils and the normal pencils, and I really love this picture. This one's also definitely one of my top picks from this book. This was a day where I had a bit of some art block going, so to help me, I drew my boyfriend in different versions. So here he is fabulously in a pink and purple outfit, modeling for me. That's him as a mosquito. And these two are him as dinosaurs. Oh, and of course the dinosaur is also holding a Warhammer figure. This one also has a video, and I remember while I was drawing this picture and when I filmed the video, I was complaining about how the shading did not turn out the way I wanted it to, and the highlights and everything as well. But looking at it now, I actually really love the color scheme that's going on here. These colors harmonize so well with each other. This over here, I really like the picture, but unfortunately the video recording to this one got like really messed up, so I was never able to upload the video that goes along with the picture. But I always forget the names of them, but this is also me drawing like characters from a little toy line. This is the first picture I drew with these new pens that I just swatched. This is Nicholas's favorite picture in this entire sketchbook, which she is a cute cowgirl, but I don't know, I feel like he's a little biased because he bought me these pens. Over here is another redesign of like a really old OC. Over here this is a D&D character from a evil run D&D session that we had. And are you ready to see the scariest character covered in blood from head to toe that you've ever seen? Because 3, 2, 1, ta-da! She is covered in blood or ketchup, but other than that, I think she looks adorable. This one was another really fun video. Usually when I have the full studio lights on, it's not as visible, but I use glitter markers. But if you don't believe me that this picture is like super pretty and super sparkly, go check out that other video. Followed by another video illustration. Again, these are the same pens that I used for the cow just like 2 or 3 pages ago. And these are like watercolor brush pens. And a bunch more old OC redesigns. All 3 of these characters used to look like almost identical to each other, so I'm trying really hard to have their designs be a little more distinguished. But also, this one over here has always been by far my favorite of the clones. This one's also colored in with the sparkly pens, but here I was just kind of trying to do a sunset shading kind of. And even though I tried to do something really cool over here, I think this random girl turned out like way prettier. I really like her outfit and the way her hair turned out, but she is supposed to be a dinosaur girl, but I feel like it's very much not noticeable. Like, this one is just a random bathroom wall, but this over here is a drawing that my sweet little love of my life requested, and specifically he requested a stinky worm. So I drew him a worm crawling out of a tin fish can. And these are my pictures that I drew when I was comparing my different types of metallic pencils. Again, if you're interested to know my feedback and everything, keep watching all these other videos that I've made. I think it's a shame that they look really kind of gray here, but aside from that, I think it's a fun page to look at. This was my very angry swatching video. And over here, just some cute little girls again. This one was actually like super inspired by some art that's recently been recommended to me by the different algorithms. And they were all kind of like very black and white, but the line art was always a little more scratchy than my line art usually is, but it gave it like a really cool effect. So I actually wanted to try it out myself. And luckily, I do own some fine liners that are really cheap quality, and because they're so cheap, they kind of automatically add this like weird scratchiness texture. I totally see myself adapting to this like more black and white scratchiness for a project somewhere in the future, but I'm not a fan of producing scratchy line art, so this is not gonna be something I'm gonna draw like for everyday art. I actually stole some of my boyfriend's art supplies for this. I don't have like a line art for the like turquoise ink, so I wanted to try out using like blue and green inks. As it turns out, neither of them work well with the turquoise, which was a little disappointing. But then, inspired by the turquoise, I tried out all the other different acrylic ink colors that Nicholas had in combination with my different drawing inks. And this is me and Nicholas in our cute little zoo outfits. All the big blue areas is my old school ink. For all three of these characters, the line art is actually technically different colors. So this one is gray, this one's black, and this one is brown. But I really can see no difference. Like, I can very, very lightly see a difference in this one's eyes. Like, her eyelashes do look ever so slightly brown. But other than that, all three of them could have been drawn in black and it would have the same effect. Ooh, this is a fun one. I think this is my most recent video as of uploading the sketchbook tool. And I colored this one in with Centos scented shorties, I think they're called. So these are scented markers, and it was like a really fun picture to draw, and I love the outcome of it. A cute little Butterfree family. So these two are a couple, they're in love, and these are their babies. And when I colored in the background, I made a big mistake because I have two orange scented markers. One of them smells like a citrusy orange kind of scent, and the other one that I accidentally used to color in this background smells like cheese. So now these are some very cheesy, stinky Pokemon. And on the other side, we have some slightly more elegant Pokemon. For the Bulbasaur turned out so adorable. I bought a Sylvanian family's baby's blind bag. And I really wanted the deer. Like, the deer looks so cute. I love the little dress it wears. And my second choice would have been the cat because it wears the same dress. So I drew the deer because I wanted the deer so bad, but unfortunately I ended up getting this cat. I hope I can get it out. But I was feeling a little crafty, so I also drew and cut out some of the other items that the characters have. Unfortunately, this idea only came to me after I already finished drawing the deer. Otherwise, I definitely would have drawn this one with like one open hand, so you can kind of put the items on top of the hand so it looks like the deer is holding them. I think the mushroom hat still kind of works though. And here I was also slightly more experimental, I guess you could say, by using patterned paper and a pen color that I like never use. But I think the effect of the neon green grid and the bright orange lines looks really cool. So here you have a Vileplume and a Blossom, but Over here, there are some more stuff. As I was still feeling a little crafty, I drew and cut out some different Pokemon berries and some Pokemon snacks. I also made an Oddish and its middle evolution, as well as a Leaf Stone, a Sunstone, and a Pokemon egg, just in case. The color effect don't necessarily fit the vibe of Oddish and its evolutions, but I think it's still a very cool like visual effect. And some more Pokemon having a little nighttime party. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but the markers that I used, even though they're alcohol markers, they were incredibly streaky on this paper, and everything ended up looking a little off. But I think the idea of it is still kind of cute. And that's the end of my sketchbook. And just because I really wanted to have a banger picture on my last page, here's my boyfriend Nicholas riding a giant shrimp. And that's it. We're done for today. I really hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour. There's still a lot of pictures related to videos in here, but also a lot of new and never seen art of mine. And yay, I'm so cool. Anyway, that's it. Let me know if you have any favorites, and I hope to see you again next week for another fun artsy video. Goodbye! Also, if you're interested, I also have a whole playlist with sketchbook tours ranging from really, really, really old to not that old. Goodbye!